to the We Age Graceful podcast where we talk about self development, life, and aging graceful. I am your host, Kelly, and today's episode is about new beginnings. Before we get into the episode, I want to say, hey y'all, what is up? How are you guys doing? What has been going on? I know it has been a minute, but life has been lifing and I've been handling it. I've been handling it. A lot has been going on, but that's what happens when you get to a certain age in life. Things just be happening. You know what I mean? Not that things don't happen when you're younger, they do as well. But you guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. But what's been going on? I mean, if you follow me on my YouTube channel, if you follow me on my social, for those of you who may not know me or have come across my podcast, my name is Kelly. I do have a YouTube channel and an Instagram by the name of I am Keli B. So you can come on over there and check me out if you're into beauty and lifestyle and all the things. But I don't want to ramble on too much. But so much been going on. But I'll get into that in another episode. Okay. But right now, I just want to talk about new beginnings. Have you guys? I mean, I know we're kind of late with this, but I know I'm kind of late with this. So the Beyonce Renaissance movie, right? And the movie was amazing. And I just want to get into what it what I felt, what it brought to me, what I got from it, and how I want to create my own renaissance. You know what I mean? I feel like we all have the opportunity to create our own renaissance. Like Beyonce just sat out and put the blueprint for us all. So let me get into like the first part of what I want to get into. Is like the movie. Like it was so motivating. Yes, she had, an amazing father who helped her pave the way and do all the things for her. Yes, yes, yes. But, she learned, he taught her and she kept it going. She never gave up. Even when she was in the group, out the group, she kept going. You know what I mean? She was determined. Like I said, she never gave up. And this was her dream to like be entertainer, and she made it a reality, and she did a darn good job at it. Like watching that movie, it was like you kind of like felt her process. You kind of like you saw Beyonce, she worked so hard to have what she has. In addition to, she's a very private person. We all know that. Even if you did not know, you could tell she's a private person. But she's about that business. She's about that business. That's that Virgo in her. My best friend's a Virgo. Bless her soul. They have something about them, and it's a beautiful thing. If you ever get in a Virgo's world, like a September Virgo. That's you get into their world. It's like it's different. It's I can tell it's different even from like not getting too much into like zodiacs and whatnot. But even like me being a Cancer, I'm a June Cancer. I started off. You know what I mean. But I feel like even July Cancers are a little bit different. From June Cancers. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not here to be the astrology god or nothing like that. But that's just my opinion. My opinion. My opinion. But yeah, I just felt when I left, even watching it, and when I left the theaters, I felt so inspired. I felt like I could just do it all. I can put everything together. I can just do it all. But in all reality, I have to understand. She gave us the picture that yes, you can do it all. But she has help. She has assistants. She has people. She has a team. She can do it all and she can delegate. Some of us don't have those resources. You can get those eventually, but but she just put it out there. She just put it out there, and that's just how I felt. Like what, I want to have the same, not the same as her, but I want to have my own renaissance, my own new beginning. But to get into it, what is like some of the steps and some of the things that you do to kind of have that new beginning. And my thing is manifestation. It's like you can paint this whole big picture on what you want and how you see it. And it's like you have to put yourself in it. You put yourself in it and you're like, okay, this is what I want. Now I have to, I don't hate to say the word portray, but you live that life. But live it realistically. Everybody knows not to live it falsely. But have a little bit of delusion, if you will. Just a little bit of delusion. So And it's so funny because I have it like I have like some notes, right? I'm like, make sure I don't miss anything. And like my second note is like being delusional, being there, acting as if you already have what you want, acting like it's already there in your life. And let me tell you something, the home that I'm in now, I was afraid I wasn't going to get it. I was afraid I wasn't going to get it. But let me tell you something. I already had placed myself in the house. The house wasn't even built. The house was just a picture. And I knew that I wanted the house. But I had to place myself in the kitchen, place myself in the living room, place myself in the bedroom, place myself in there. And I just said, Kelly, it's yours. And I waited for the house to get built. I went and checked on the house. I went and I saw what was being done. All the things. All the things. And the day I went for the walkthrough, I was like, this is real. I'm seeing the house being built, but at this point, still ain't mine. But the deposit is down. But when I went to that signing, that's when I knew. I said, this is mine. It's over. And you gotta have a little ounce. And it's so funny how certain things in our life we have delusion for, and in certain other areas in our life we won't have delusion for. We feel like we're not worthy of it, self-sabotage, you know, imposter syndrome, all the things that we feel that we're not deserving of it. But in certain areas, we're going hard. We're like, it's ours, it's mine. I got this. I'm going to do what I have to do. But that's where I was with that one, and it came through. And also, vision boards. I went different this year, so I have to be a little bit more. How do you say it? I have to be a little bit more, I guess, due diligence, because the vision board I did last year, it was more of the vision board that you put, in a frame. You cut out pictures. You just kind of like make everything more aesthetically pleasing, or put it in a way where you feel, you can, receive it, work on it, and just put it in your everyday life to make it actually come to you. You have to work on it. You just can't say, oh, I want this car and it's gonna come to. No. How are you gonna get this car? Do you have to save? Do you have to cut back? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So that's how I look at my vision board. My vision board this year, I did it digitally. I did not do it in a frame. I still have my old vision boards that I do look at, here from time to time, I should say. I don't want to say here and there. From time to time. That because I feel like those was when I was hungry. I was so hungry. And that's like vision boards that keep me grounded, if you will. Keep me grounded. But vision boards are nice. The one that I have now on my tablet, my computer, I'm looking over here at my computer, you know, I'm doing more on a monthly basis. I'm giving myself some grace. And I want you to give yourself some grace too as well. I want you to understand, like, sometimes looking out something for a whole year can be hard. Let alone how, sometimes people do vision boards or do like life plans for like 5 years out. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's like I've been doing like a month to month vision board. I've been doing digital planning now. I'm trying to be a little bit more friendly to the earth, y'all. I'm trying to be a little more friendly to the earth. But I did a digital vision board, and I must say, I like it. I like it. I do feel like when I hit my 6 month mark, I may go back to doing a an actual that I can actually. Well, I'm doing the work of putting it together. I did the work of putting it together on my iPad, but it's something about, it's like writing in a book. Something about when you type in something, you retain it differently when you're doing it from pen to paper. It's a different retention to me. That's just to me, in my opinion. But that's for the story as well. But another thing that can kind of help with manifestations, affirmations. Talk to yourself. It's okay. It's not a form of being crazy. And if it is, then I guess I'm crazy. It's okay to talk to yourself and let yourself know that you are worthy of something. You can get something, and you know, just pump yourself up, because if you can't pump yourself up, who will? You know what I mean? You don't want to sit back and depend on others to be that gas. You want to be your own gas. And you want to, be your own gas in the most robust way, if that makes any sense. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But also, how to, what are some other ways that we can sit back and have this new beginnings, this renaissance, like Beyonce, like she's coming out strong. Like even like she has this country album she's about to drop. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And it's so funny. And I'm gonna admit this here. I did not know that black people created country music. I did not know that. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, because the way the world the way the world is now, it's we know that black people created so many different things in the world, but it's pushed under the rug so hard and so tight. And you have other, cultures, other nationalities that come out and they just ride the horse as if it was created by them. And I'm not an individual where I'm like this or that. I like to be one whole, because my family is a good old big rainbow. So one thing I can say about my family, we we weren't raised to like hate others. We bring them all. We don't care. We don't care. Well, I can speak from my point of view, from what I see from my eyes. We don't care about race. We don't care about sexual orientation, whatever you choose to do. That is your business. You know what I mean? We accept you for you. That's how I am. You know what I mean? I wish somebody would, okay? But I want to get into like setting goals and execution. To create this, how can I say it? These new beginnings. Back to that. These new beginnings. It's a book that I read, and it's called The 12-Week Year. And you may say, Kelly, how is this going to tie into me having my new beginnings, a renaissance like Beyonce? You just can't just say what you want, make a vision board, and work at it whenever you feel like it. You have to work at it when you don't feel like it. I'm guilty of, not working at things when I'm supposed to. I'm not gonna say it's easy. Easier said than done. But there's two books. The 12-Week Year, I read that one in its entirety from cover to cover. Loved it. Loved it. I highlight that book out. I would even look at it again just to kind of get some more points, to get some refreshers. But another book is Atomic Habits. I was listening to the book on audio, right? And I stopped reading the book because I felt like the way the book was going, the way they was reading the audiobook, I felt like it was like some graphs and some charts. And lo and behold, I went and bought the book. And it was a bunch of charts, a bunch of graphs, a bunch of this, a bunch of that. So I do recommend getting the book. And I also recommend listening to the book. I am one of those individuals where you got to give it to me twofold. I retain things like twofold. I can read a book and listen to the book at the same time, because I like when people read to me. Yeah, call me, a baby. But I like when people read to me, and I also like when I'm actually seeing the words, like as they're reading, I'm like going across. That helps me with retention, and it also helps me with remembering it long term, if that makes any sense. So the Atomic Habit books, it just teaches you how to create a habit, how to bring in something, and how it can become a down into quarters. So you know how you have the first half, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So January, February, March, that'll be your first year. April, May, June, second year. July. Well, you get the drift. You know what I'm trying to say? That'll be your third and fourth year. So it's like you can get 4 years worth of work done in 1 year. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I tried it. I tried it and it works. You may not see the return on the front end, but on the back end, you'll see the return. You know what I mean? Sometimes we sit back and we don't realize we have to put the work in to get what we want. Back to saying having that renaissance, having that new beginning. You have to put the work in to get what you want. Now, you might be saying, Kelly, what does this have to do with anything? As I'm getting older, I'm coming to realize just because you're aging and things are, moving by and time is going by, it's never too late. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to have that new beginning. It's never too late to have that renaissance. It's just never too late. And like I'm saying, like back into everything, like, anything that you want to do, if it's setting goals and how to execute these things, break things down, have an end goal. And I don't mean like, I want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, you want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, what are you going to do to lose these 5 pounds? And that's something I'm telling on myself here, y'all. I am telling on myself. You could sit and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to stop eating candy. Okay, what else you gonna stop eating? You know what I mean? What else are you gonna stop eating? You can't just say I'm gonna stop eating candy. Am I gonna add some more fiber to my diet? I'm gonna eat some more veggies, protein, take out the carbs, or eat the healthy carbs. Instead of you having that slice of bread, maybe we might have a sweet potato. What are we doing? How are we juggling this? You know what I mean? What are we doing? Breaking down your goals and having an end goal. You got to have goals in the goal, if that makes any sense. And just like doing something every day, not being hard on yourself, like, making it realistically. Like me sitting right here and I'm saying, oh, I want a Grammy. I don't sing, I don't do anything like that. But what can I do to sit and say, I want to get? Okay, I want to get a silver play button for my YouTube channel. Okay, that's realistic. That is realistic. But what am I going to do to make it actually happen? So I have to put the work in. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You got to put the work in. So I've been running my mouth, talking long. I don't know. You guys don't like holding you guys long. We've been on here going on 18 minutes. But just to kind of recap and, get through what we just discussed. We can have it all. Remove all the noise and just get to work. And I know sometimes, like I said, easier said than done. Easier said than done. But just remove all the noise, get to work, take your time. I will link the two books that I mentioned in the show notes, so you can actually check those books out. In addition to, I'll link my Amazon storefront, because I do have a list of books that I like to read. I do read, but I purchase books faster than I can read them. But I do have a lot of good self-help books, self-development books, productivity books. That's something I really, really enjoy as well. But I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and etc. And follow the We Age Graceful YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. All links will be in the show notes. If you want to know more about me and get to know me and my beauty and my lifestyle world, check me out on my YouTube channel at I am Keli B, and I will have all the links down below or in the show notes for you, wherever you're watching this. I want to say thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.